Buongiorno
Ciao.
y
Let me
buonasera.
go.
Cheers. Sorry, excuse my dog.
That's fine. How's the weather there? I
It's
can see
perfect
it's
today.
sunny.
It's here. Let me back up just a tiny bit. The weather is perfect today. I actually got dressed up, kind of did my hair today. When you're quarantined for, I don't know, what is it? We're on like our 52nd, third day. We're just so used to wearing sweats. So yeah, it's a beautiful day, and looks like, I know it's late in Italy. How's the weather there?
Well, it's 9 o'clock in the evening here, and unfortunately, we don't have the sun anymore. I would have loved to show you the beautiful view that I have from our balcony here, but
Yes,
unfortunately, it's not.
I have your balcony, and you do have a beautiful view of Tuscany.
I have the wines. Do you see it?
I do see your wine. I just have prosecco here, so I'll
I
be
have a lot of
drinking
wines, and today we had a beautiful weather today. In fact, I organized like a style shooting, so it's gonna be uploaded soon. So stay tuned for the style shooting. Of course, it has been made for materials that I had here at home, being in
Well, I can't wait
quarantine.
to get it.
So, how do you feel?
Let's see. Today is May 3rd. It is 17 days to our supposedly wedding date, which would have been May 20th. I have a lot of mixed emotions, but the great thing is my family and friends are all, we're healthy, we're alive. That's the most important thing for us, is to just make sure our family and friends are safe. So far, we're good. We're just looking forward to, our future wedding date, whenever that will be.
How is the situation there, by the way? I mean, here in Italy, of course, we are locked down. Tomorrow, we will have a slight opening of the shops, of some shops.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how is the situation there in where are you actually? Where are you living? Tell us where you live.
Okay, so I live in Northern California, in Sonoma County. So it's about an hour north of San Francisco, about 45 minutes north of San Francisco. So Sonoma County, we have great wines here, but I'm not as probably as great as yours, but just as good. Um, in Roanoke Park, Santa Rosa area. So yeah, the weather gets really, really nice here during the summertime. As you
And
can see.
I think the lockdown depends on the state, right?
Yes. Every state's different. Some states have been lifted. We have a lot of people who are joining us. I'm just going to say hi to everyone who's joined us, your friends and your family, our family, and then our friends and family here in Northern California and all over. So thanks for joining us and listening to us or watching us. So yeah. And you're in exactly what part of Tuscany, so everyone knows?
So here we are in Tuscany, the region of Tuscany. It's in the middle, in the center of Italy. And we are in the beautiful city of Siena. Of course, I live in the countryside of Siena. It's called Castelnuovo per Ardenga. I know you're having a hard time to say it.
I love that. I can say it now. I can say it so perfect. Castelnuovo per
Great! You did it.
I practice.
Okay, so I was explaining the reason why I wanted to do this kind of live talk show with the brides is the reason because I did it is to give you the possibility to share your stories. I know it's a very challenging situation for a lot of people, for us vendors here in the wedding industry, but of course, the most affected people is you guys, the couples who were planning this wedding for almost a year already. So we did a lot of things. We were excited. You came here to the venue scouting. We were all waiting for this beautiful day. It was supposed to be in 15 days.
Yes.
So I wanted to give you the time to share, of course, with us your stories, your emotions, your feelings. How do you feel? Or were to be like an inspiration to other couples who are still sitting on the fence, deciding whether to cancel or postpone.
Right.
So let's talk first about you and James, which unfortunately is not there with you, or is
No,
it?
not today.
Okay. So talk about your story. How did you meet?
So, long story short, we've been together for 13 years. And yeah, going on 14 this November. We met through a family friend, and we were doing long distance for nearly 9 years. So he was living in Southern California, and I'm living here in the North Bay. So we did long distance for a very long time. And, you know, there were lots of talk where I would move to Southern California, and that didn't really happen. So he ended up moving back up here. He proposed July, a few days after my birthday, so July of 2018. And prior to us getting engaged, we actually talked about, you know, if we were to get married, where would we get married? Would we get married here in California, or would we be getting married in Italy? Just because, you know, as you know, Italy's very, sorry for all that, whatever construction that's happening. But we said, you know what, maybe Italy might be an option for us. And so after we got engaged, you know, we immediately let you know. We were like,
how
okay.
How did you get engaged? How did he propose?
So it was very intimate, actually, because, you know, I wanted the whole entire family, everyone there. And he actually proposed to me the day after an event in San Francisco. So I woke up the next morning, and there he was on his knee. And I was confused, obviously, because it's you know, I had just woken up, and I'm, you know, I haven't like did my hair, brushed my teeth, or anything like that. And
you weren't prepared.
I was not prepared, of course. And that's when you know, you never get prepared for these things. So there he is on his knee and asked me to marry him. And I thought I was dreaming, of course. But so, yeah. And I just cried. I couldn't even answer him. But of course I did. And I said yes, of course. And there goes the first day of planning is the day after.
And the day after you already planned. You were already planning.
Well, we
were like, where?
We were like, where could we possibly do it in Italy? Can we do this? And the only way to find out is to reach out to you and to go to Italy. And with your inspiration too, you said you have to come here for yourself. You need to see it for yourself. You know, it's hard to make a decision. However, you can. It's still possible. Through photos and videos and all that. As long as you have a great wedding planner, anything is possible, right? That's what you always tell me.
Exactly. So, everything is possible.
Anything is
possible.
Love can
wait.
Yes.
It doesn't matter when.
Correct. And as long as you both love each other and you do trust each other, then, you know, even if you push it out a little bit longer, maybe a year, it's completely fine. I've been having a lot of mixed emotions, you know, in the last few weeks, especially 2 months, because we had just actually sent our invitations out. So let me back up. So March of 2019, last year, James and I took a trip, my first trip back to Italy since I was born there. So it's been like 32 years since I haven't been back to Italy, and his first time in Europe. So we flew last year, spent 10 wonderful days with you, of course. It was like a field trip every morning. Hi, Mike. Every morning, we would go on this long, like
venue scouting.
Yeah, we would go venue scouting every single day. I think we had like 10 venues lined up in 10 days. So it was just crazy. It was exciting. It was fun. It was a lot of walking, a lot of drinking, a lot of eating, a lot of everything. But I think it was our last and final day, maybe second to last, and we said, this is it. This is the venue. This is where we want to get married. This is where we want to say I do. And after that, it was just planning and planning since then. But all the venues were amazing. We went from an exclusivity of a castle to a local mini like garden wedding, to the wineries. Went to Florence. Florence is beautiful. We could oversee the Duomo, right?
But not only for venue scouting, we did something that was really emotional for you in Florence.
We did. I'm trying to figure out what that is.
Your engagement session.
Oh, yes, we did do our engagement photos there with a great, wonderful photographer, Federico Panache. So he was great. Yeah, we did photos. We were 5 kilos heavier at that point because it was almost the last day to leave. But we had an amazing time walking the streets of Florence, taking our engagement photos. So that was great.
And then the COVID arrived.
So COVID arrived, I think the end of January. And
actually it was in December, I think, that the first news came from China that there was this virus that we didn't actually know what was it all about. And we took it for granted at first. But then, unfortunately, everything started to just fall down.
Oh, I think we have a question.
How is the situation of the weddings there? They're here in Italy or they're... Sorry, I can't see who wrote.
Sarah's Ganja?
The situation here in Italy, we're still in lockdown actually, but from tomorrow it's gonna be a slight lockdown. There's gonna be a slight reopening of certain shops, as well as restaurants and bars, but there will be only the takeaway service. We're not allowed to go eat in the restaurants, and we are allowed to take some walks, fortunately. And we are also allowed to have some sport, but it has to be individual. So let's say that we are moving towards phase 2 here in Italy, and the government is trying to work on a probable phase 3, which means the reopening of everything and back to normal life and normal routine. However, we have some doubts that this will really happen soon. So I think we have to wait for a little while before we go to phase 3.
Oh, are you in Italy? I see light in the video. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Are you in Italy? Me, I am in Italy.
Yeah, so...
While my bride is in the United States.
Correct. So the wedding, not Dashiell, she's in Tuscany and I'm in California. Just want to make it clear. This does not look like Italy for sure.
We were talking about the virus arrived, and of course you had started struggling.
So my concern was, so at that point by January, most of our guests and family have already booked their flights, accommodations, the whole shebang. Okay. And and we had just, I believe, sent out our invitations in January, the end of January, for more of a confirmation, to get a head count of how many people would be attending, because there were some last minute guests who haven't decided or have not booked their tickets yet. So that's when COVID-19 went from Italy from like, you know, just the news to the whole country has it now, and had spread, you know, over the United States. So we were in complete shock. You know, people had just received their invitations, and we were just speechless. We were like, we don't. Everyone kept calling us, contacting us, asking us, so is it really happening? You know, I had 2 bridal showers already in queue to happen from my future mother-in-law and my mother, within like maybe 30 days. And so it was a struggle for us to just kind of be patient. I think patience was a huge thing for us because we didn't want to make any decisions at the time, just because, you know, the disease or the virus had just happened. So the invitations were all out, and we waited. I want to say we waited probably like 2 weeks or so, Hudson. And at that point, we were hoping that if we picked a good time, depending on how the virus would spread, whether it would be, completely all over California and the United States and in Italy, that no one would travel, could travel for us, and they were very hesitant. So I think by 2 weeks after, we had sent a message to all our guests, to most of our guests, of course, and had posted on our website, due to COVID-19, we are postponing our wedding. Our safety for our family and friends is number one and is important to us. And we appreciate everyone who had invested not only their time financially into the trip that they were some people have never been to Italy, so they were really excited to go, to make it a vacation. And we were very grateful for that. We were excited to see people and spend time with everyone. And people were coming from all over the world. People were coming from London, the Philippines, all over the United States. So it was also like a little mini reunion for us who haven't seen each other for a long time.
Of course.
So
weddings are also a way to gather the family all together and spend some fun and memorable moments.
So we had sent that message out, and everyone, we got messages from everyone just confirming, like, what are you going to do? What are your plans? And once we sent that out, it was like they could feel what we were going through, but also we felt like something was lifted off our shoulders as well, knowing that we're going to own it. Everyone will be safe. No one's traveling. And they appreciated that. They said, we wish you well, and we're still going to be here. We'll still travel whenever that is. We wish you and James just happiness, of course. So
and besides, it's also a fact that you don't really want to risk the people. And
of course.
I think they also had the time by that time to ask for a refund, because all the airline companies.
So airlines, if they cancel their flights, then they should refund the guests. But unless they had canceled prior to their cancellation, then they may not get they might just get a voucher or something. But at least it was just enough time to get a refund or anything back for their travels, because I'm sure a lot of people spent a bit on their accommodations and everything to travel to Italy.
Of course. So what would you recommend to other couples who have already sent out the invitation and now have to postpone their wedding? What did you do?
I think I would look at what your options are first. Your options to postpone the wedding. Well, first I would send an announcement out to your guests stating that this is happening, and that way they can make their own arrangements. Also, I think it's seeing what your options are, getting in touch with your wedding planner, getting in touch with your vendors, hoping they will understand what you're going through, and hoping you can just postpone to another day, whether it's this year or next year. You know, they say love can wait.
Of course.
If it can happen now, it can happen in the future. It may not be tomorrow, but it will happen.